In the last episode of Game Over, we looked at Adol's very first adventure in the groundbreaking game Ys Book 1. That TurboGrafx classic ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, which means it's time to dive back into the world of Ys in order to defeat the evil once and for all. Turn back now if you don't want to know what happens next, because today we're going to spoil the story and ending for Ys Book 2 on the TurboGrafx-16. This is Game Over, the early years. When we last checked in with Adol, he had been shot high up in the air and gently placed in the fabled land of Ys. What makes that especially newsworthy is the fact that pretty much everybody believes that Ys vanished hundreds of years ago, along with the 6 books that chronicled the powerful country's long and storied history. But as was revealed in the final book, Ys didn't actually disappear, but rather found a way to raise itself high up in the air, far away from danger. They hoped that a hero would come along and cleanse the world of the evil monsters, allowing it to once again regain its former glory. The books also warned the reader about a magical material known as Claria, which the people of Ys blame for bringing the monsters and causing lava to burn everything they worked so hard to create. But before we get to the doom and gloom prophecies, let's go back to the exact moment Ys Book 1 left off. Adol somehow managed to escape Darm Tower through a beam of light that shot him high up in the air. All that was witnessed by this red-headed woman who runs to see what's going on and witnesses a stranger unconscious in the middle of a giant field. Who is this mysterious woman, and is Adol alright? These questions and more will be answered in this opening cinema.
Are you all right? Me? I am Lilia from Rant's village. I felt a cold shiver down my spine, and I felt compelled to come in this direction. Then I found you lying here on the ground, your body surrounded by a pure white light. This is the land of Ys. There are many goons patrolling this area. Quickly, let's go to my village before they find us.
Maybe a different town, but all the problems are the same. A quick survey of Rant's village shows that things are far from idyllic in this one-time oasis. The town doctor has gone missing, Jira's basement is haunted, and Lilia, the woman from the cinema we just watched, has come down with a mysterious illness. Man, this really is a bad time for the doctor to go missing. Obviously, Adol will need to solve some of these problems if he hopes to save the land of Ys, but where to even begin? Seeing as we need a doctor to help Lilia, our hero decides to search the mine for Dr. Flare. It's here where we discover this ancient statue with a magical mystery. As Adol approaches, the first book of Ys levitates into the air and merges with the statue, revealing that our red-headed adventurer will need to collect 6 magical wands in order to defeat evil. Ugh, great. I guess that means we're gonna have to go back and fight through a whole new set of dungeons in order to find the different statues and... Oh wait, there's another one right here. The Dabby statue reveals to Adol that evil will never die as long as magic exists. And oh wait, hey, look here, it's the Gemma statue. It explains that the evil in our lives is a direct reflection of our goodness, which I gotta say sounds like woo-woo bullshit to me. Look, by the 4th statue, Adol is tired of seeing the book levitate into the air, merge with the statue, and reveal some corny advice. Or maybe it's just me who's sick of that. Hey, don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Dr. Flare. We break through the wall and reveal that the old man is being trapped in this tiny space. Ooh, it's a good thing we found him when we did, because this awful mine is just about the worst place to be trapped. The good doctor reveals that he's gonna need a rhoda-tree nut and cursetta flower in order to make the antidote for Lilia. Adol already has a rhoda-tree nut, but where on earth is he gonna find a cursetta flower? Oh, there it is. Adol delivers the ingredients to the doctor, but it's gonna take some time to mix everything together, and nope, apparently it's all done. Woohoo! Lilia's been saved. Alright, now that we've found the doctor and helped Lilia, I guess it's finally time to deal with Jira's haunted house. Look, I know what you're thinking. The house isn't really haunted, right? Well, it kinda is. Enemies break through the wall in the basement, revealing a convenient path to the rest of the statues. There's no need to describe all of them because the only one we need to listen to is Fact, who reveals that if Adol reaches the Solomon Shrine, the only way to defeat evil is by using a special sword made of the magical material Claria. Merging this book with the statue also opened up a door to Solomon Shrine. Convenient. Of course, it's not gonna be that easy. The secret door leads to a snowy mountainside where we find a mirror that turns Adol into one of those terrible monsters. I bet he's gonna find that handy as he tries to infiltrate the shrine. But before that happens, our hero needs to explore the inside of the mountain, which is filled with lava and nasty monsters. It's also home to Burnland, a town filled with people who don't mind the hot heat. But while the lava may be scorching, Adol's welcome has been ice cold. In fact, the gatekeeper at Burnland blames our teenage hero for his son getting kidnapped. You see, it seems that when the monsters came through town kidnapping people, they told the townspeople not to let Adol pass. If they do, then the abducted kids will be killed. Yikes! Even though it's not Adol's fault, he still feels partially responsible. He knows that he needs to find Tarf, the kid, and make things right. Where could he be? Oh, here he is on the other side of this wall. He seems to be locked up with this friendly demon named Keith, who's just looking for the blue orb. It's a big cave full of secrets and hidden treasures. How is Adol supposed to find something as specific as the blue orb? Oh, here it is. Our hero returns the orb, and Keith uses it to transport Tarf back to his dad in Burnland. Alright, now that Adol has saved the captured kid, he's free to use the bridge to enter the snowy town of Ramia Village. But what's this? Maria and a bunch of the townspeople have been kidnapped by monsters and are being sacrificed at Solomon Shrine? Guys, we just went through this story. Why do the exact same plot point 2 times in a row? It's time to mix things up and, I don't know, maybe poison the water or set fire to something. That's classic. Who knew that evil was this predictable? Anyway, both Hadid and Maria's mother have good reason to be concerned. As legend goes, when the bell rings 5 times, somebody has to be sacrificed. And if the thought of children being slaughtered bums you out, then you're not alone. The townspeople seem to think that old Evan is depressed. But when Adol drops by to just say hello, we realize that he's cynical too. He used to love exploring the halls of the shrine, but the monsters and all that child killing has made that impossible. The fact that he's stuck inside and not sure how to help anybody kind of makes him the most relatable character in this entire game. Now, in order to slip past the guards and enter the shrine, Adol uses the illusion mirror to look like the monster. See? I told you that would be helpful. This allows our hero to explore the labyrinth corridors and hallways, hoping to reach the survivors in time. Thankfully, I have some good news for you. Adol discovers that the kidnapped villagers have escaped with the Master Key, so the monsters won't be sacrificing them anytime soon. Hey, speaking of monsters, a wizard decides to turn Adol into this weird blob creature thing, all but stopping the journey dead in its tracks. This sets up a side quest where Red needs to find a very special cup that used to belong to an ancient priest. The problem is that the shrine is absolutely massive, so where the hell is he gonna find such a small cup? Oh, there it is. Now Evan can find purpose in letting monster Adol drink from his world-famous well. And with that out of the way, it's time to get back to the mission. Alright, now where was I? Oh right, the villagers managed to escape their captivity. Well, all of them except for Maria. Now, she's rightly concerned that her days might be numbered and she'll be next to be slaughtered. And it's at that exact moment that we start hearing the loud and distinct sounds of bells. Knowing what that means, Adol races to the top of the shrine as the bells ring for the second, third, and even fourth time. It's here where we finally meet Dowles, the cloaked man responsible for all this death and destruction. He tries to explain his evil plot, but it's so vague that we never really find out what's going on in that head of his. Something about ripping people apart and lifeblood, it's basically nonsense. The important part is that he rings the bell one final time, and Maria dies. With a heavy heart, Adol vows to track down Dowles and make sure that he pays for his evil. In order to do that, he's gonna need to find the blue orb again and use it to trigger the statues in the goddess room. But come on, where are you supposed to find another blue orb? Oh, there it is. Adol returns to the goddess's room and jumps through all the hoops expected of him. He has finally accepted that he is the courageous warrior that was prophesied all those years ago. So he completes the statue and vows to break the curse by taking the idol to the very top of the belfry and holding it into the sky. So now that he's done with the ritual, Adol rushes down to help the villagers. But what's this? As it turns out, the villagers have a surprise for our hero. When he was gone, a dove flew through the window and delivered a letter from Dr. Flair. More importantly, the letter came attached with a pendant needed to warp Adol to the center of the shrine. Guys, we're in the endgame now. So our hero races to the room with the demonic mirror in hopes of defeating the Great Wizard. Well, as it turns out, that wasn't an evil mirror all along, but rather a portal. And what, you may ask, is on the other side of that portal? Well, it's the glorious news that Maria is still alive! That's right, she didn't die when the fifth bell rang out for all of us to hear. Maria was conveniently saved by a magical bracelet that has been passed down through her family for generations. Ooh, that's a relief. Okay, so this is where everything starts to come together for Adol. He's collected the right types of weapons, Decca helps him with the goddesses, and Lilia has a ring that makes getting to the evil pearl a whole lot easier. Hang on, what's Lilia doing here? Again, why is their only move to kidnap people? Anyway, there's no time for that, because Adol needs to fight the Black Pearl and save East from the monsters. It takes some doing, but we finally triumph over evil, and this is what happens next.
Oh, Adol, I don't know what to say. How can I thank you for saving me? The basement of the shrine was such an eerie place. After that, I went to Jeva's house. I met a lot of people that I never knew before, and I learned a lot about the wonderful world of East. But the best thing that has happened to me is that I had a chance to meet you. For the first time in my life, I was able to speak with the heart of a girl. It is hard to feel human when your soul is of a goddess. Well, I must go. Lair is waiting for me. Adol, promise that you'll always remember the girl in me.
Whew, now that's closure. Looking back, it's easy to see why books 1 and 2 were packaged together on the TurboGrafx CD, because you definitely need that closure for this package to work. Funny thing is that I actually prefer the cliffhanger ending in the first game. This one's a lot more satisfying, I suppose. It's also a lot wordier. The whole thing is really sweet. That said, I do have one question. Seeing as Ys has been floating in the air for 700 years, how excited could they really be to see their ancestors? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's still exciting to see a whole bunch of new people who weren't stuck floating on the island of Ys. But it's not like they're gonna go down there and know everybody. Hell, as far as they know, everybody could be hostile to their very existence. Here we have a brand new country descend from the sky and immediately start sucking up the natural resources. I don't know, man, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Or, maybe I'm just looking through this with my very cynical 2020 eyes and everything's just gonna turn out to be okay. I guess that's something Adol can explore in the next 30 years worth of sequels and remakes. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Game Over, the early years. If you liked what you saw here, then you should know that we post new episodes almost every Monday. Now here's the question I have for you. What is your favorite old school adventure game? As always, I'm gonna let you decide where you draw the line when it comes to old school. And also adventure, I guess. Let me see your picks in the comments below. So, this episode was supposed to go up last Friday, along with my Memories of Salsetta review. But unfortunately, I had some technical issues that should hopefully be ironed out now. Look for more Ys tomorrow, followed by my review of 2 different Darius collections later in the week. If that sounds good to you, then I strongly recommend you click that subscribe button and support what we're doing here. Until then.